What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch? Let's get this stream started with my intro and stuff like that. Right here. Let's get that. And what's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch? I hope you're having a good day. And for this screen right here, I will be talking about if Wanda is multiverse of madness is getting overhyped or not. And that just um and plus for me, I will talk about the Thor movie. If the Thor movie has some hidden characters in it, sound like the multiverse of madness do. And I will also be having some of my opinions. Well, I think of multiverse of madness. What my problem was. What my problem was some of the plot. Who I like in it. Who y'all like in it. If y'all got questions about me, just multiverse of madness. If I think it's overhyped or not, y'all can try to guess if I think it's overhyped. And just by ending the stream or just before ending the stream, I will tell y'all that. And kind of like for me, it's just in my opinion, like shoot. Now I think for me, it could be a good thing or a bad thing. This movie is good. It's getting all the hype it deserves because like for me, in my opinion, for the movie to get the hype it deserves, it just undeserved. I think the hype to get because because like for me, right, in my opinion, I think this movie was not a bad movie. As everybody think, I probably been saying, but the movie is not a bad movie in my opinion. It's not. The movie is actually a pretty good total movie. A pretty good movie with some good action stuff in it, and that just and 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 for during the stream, I will be talking about Halo Future as well. What I think of the Halo series, because the Halo series is good, and I will also get back and to do my 1 by 1 episodes of Halo. Shoot, because I got whole episodes to do my review on because I've seen the series so far, and the series is not bad in my opinion. Because like for me, in my opinion, I think that some people had too much. Some people hate the series, the Halo series, because it's not like the game or stuff like that, and that's kind of like the wrong way. And that's kind of like the thing that it should not do, in my opinion. They should not be doing that. Because, like in my opinion, if you like the Halo show as a show by itself, it's it is it is a good show with some problems in it. And kind of like for me, right, in my opinion, it's like what some people think it could be a good or a bad thing and stuff like that. That the movie getting this hype, I'm not sure about that. Because like my favorite character for the most part, Madness was, in my opinion, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange and Wanda was my two favorite characters. But my other new characters I like, but I also have a problem with was America Chavez, in my opinion. Because like for me, right, the America Chavez character was a good character. That's not my problem. The America Chavez character, like I think in my opinion, did not hold no purpose in the movie. which I didn't like, be because like for me right in the movie, it could have seemed like it just used her just to go to other places. And Wanda, in my opinion, like she could have been got to her, I think in my opinion, and just use her to go to her universe, I think, where her kids at, just instead of her just trying to go to another one universe, kill her, and just raise those kids, which don't make no sense, in my opinion. Because like for me, y'all can tell me right now if I'm right or wrong on YouTube or Twitch. Um, she could have used American Chavez to find her kids that was in one division. She could have found her kids up in another dimension and bring them to her. Just just instead of her, in my opinion, just try to kill another Wanda and raise those kids, which don't make no sense. Because like you got American Chavez in the movie that can travel through multiverse. Use her, use her, in my opinion, to find your kids where you had to let go from the Sherwood or um the town from WandaVision and stuff like that. And there's another problem I got with Wanda. Um, it seemed like it to me, in my opinion, that she learned nothing. Y'all can tell me in the comments if I'm right or wrong. Because the thing that for me, it seemed like it to me, in my opinion, is like she learned nothing from it, and that's why I don't get. And and that's kind of like for me, issue in my opinion. Um, and that kind of me, in my opinion, which I don't like, is like for me, right? It's like for one division. If you know, in my opinion, that your power caused all this pain just from a little small town, and you didn't know, why would you go back just to find a little girl? In my opinion, just to cause more pain to other people in other universes, just like the pain you felt when you had to let go of your kids, or just in my opinion, it was like it's getting in your opinion, what I think could be a good thing, bad thing, stuff like that. Um, y'all can like me or not, but shoot, kind of like for me, in my opinion, I think that Wanda Vision should have been arrested, and she should have, in my opinion, faced some charges. I think, in my opinion, in Wanda Vision, if y'all saw the show, and that just like my opinion and stuff like that. Y'all can like it, not like it, and stuff like that, but that's just me, and that just me, in my opinion, how I feel about Wanda. She should have, in my opinion, been in jail or somewhere, or somewhere doing community service, or they could have used Doctor Strange to arrest Wanda and stuff like that, in my opinion, and that would have been better. But the thing about my opinion, it kind of seems like, in my opinion, that they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to do that, in my opinion, and that just me. That's me, in my opinion, and stuff like that, based on one division and stuff like that. And and plus for me, in my opinion, and stuff like that. But it could be a good thing or a bad thing. But shoot, but but shoot, in my opinion, this movie, in my opinion, is not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie, in my opinion. It's not a bad opinion, in my opinion. But my only problem with it, with this movie, is like it seemed like in this movie, like she didn't had no kind of remorse to what she did up in the last time and stuff like that, in my opinion. That's just me. Y'all can try to say that she was doing the right thing. Y'all can try to say that Wanda, in my opinion, was actually doing the right thing. Just trying to find a little girl to find her time. And people, how do people, in my opinion, find that opinion? I don't get it. I just don't get it, in my opinion, based on that. But my thing that I do like, it's just about the movie, it is that the movie, in my opinion, did have good action. It did have, in my opinion, good action throughout the movie, and that's a good thing. But it had suspense and stuff like that. I actually like that. The movie had suspense and everything else throughout the movie. I say, God, no. It had suspense. It had suspense, action, up in the same scene. And plus, you look at just at most movies in MCU got, it's kind of hard to find that. And kind of like for opinion, that's true. That I would like, in my opinion, to be the next MCU movie, Thor. I do hope the Thor next movie do be a serious movie, in my opinion, and don't be all jokes, and don't have jokes, in my opinion, all throughout the movie. Had the movie about 75% serious, 25% jokes and stuff like that, in my opinion. That be a good thing, in my opinion, for it. And that just me, in my opinion, is how I feel about it. And kind of like the MCU is like, how would Blade fit into this MCU? How would Morbius fit inside this MSU? That the MCU. Almost in the MSU. And kind of like my opinion about that is like, what I didn't like the what I like about the Moon Knight show, what the WandaVision show actually didn't do. The Moon Knight show actually show stakes. It actually show like, it didn't have to hype itself up just for the show to be good each week. It didn't have to hype itself up just for the show to be good each week, in my opinion. That's actually a point from Moon Knight, because you look at the people that was in, up in my opinion, rather people like it or not. If it wasn't for y'all, and kind of like in my opinion, stuff like that. That's why I feel like it should have been done or not. It should have been done or not. I think, in my opinion, it could have been good. It could have been bad. The stuff like that, for me, right, in my opinion, based on the MCU movies coming out, um, they need a Blade movie to be rated R, and they need a Deadpool movie to be rated R. Because, like, for me, right, and kind of like for me, shoot, in my opinion, stuff like that, it is like I feel like, in my opinion, and stuff like that, rather be like it or not, rather for me or not, and stuff like that. It's like the Blade and Moon Knight movie need to be rated R, because like you can't show the Blade world of vampires in PG-13 form. Unless the Blade movie, in my opinion, is is not gonna show all the parts of being a vampire or just certain aspects of it. That's the only way that I can think of them just not making a movie rated R. I think in my opinion. And that's kind of like in my opinion about that. Because like the stuff I like did with the Blade movie, it was violence, bloody, cursing in the movie. You could tell that it was different than any other movie that the MC movie did, and plus, like for me, if it wasn't for like for me the Blade movies, it would be no MCU, Spider Man, and other universes and stuff like that. In my opinion, it wouldn't be, and that just me, in my opinion on that. Y'all can try to say that it's not true. Y'all trying to say that they still could have did it, but we all know that if it wasn't for Blade, that was for Blade and Spider Man for Sony, it would be no MCU. Just from the Marvel side, because like for DC side, we always had Batmans, we always had Supermans over there. But things they always had Batman, Spider Man. They had an old Man Thing movie and stuff like that. But the thing about it, if you look at it, that the DC characters, the main DC characters always have movies, and plus the Wonder Woman series. I think back in the day was good. Just Linda Carter, the first female superhero on TV. Yeah, and that's kind of like a thing that they had back in the day, in my opinion. My opinion on that. And kind of like for me, the other opinions, everything else that I like, just by DC, uh, everything else like that, I like by DC. It's like for me, um, DC for me take chances. DC take chances on their movies. They actually jump up front of the trends, unlike Marvel, I think, in my opinions, and stuff like that. It, and that just me, just in my opinion on that. And kind of like the next thing that has has that says for me that I want to see different from this movie that I like. The Doctor Strange movie is like they feel like it you could have seen that for me now dealing with the movie shows and everything else like that. Deal with the Marvel universe. It is like when the Fantastic Four movie come out. I just hope that this character right here actually is is Mister is Mr. Fantastic, who played by um and, and kind of like for me, right, which I like from the Fantastic Four and stuff like that, is like I will see the first. I want to see who the first villain gonna be. I want to see how they come into their powers, the big old relationships in between the rest of the characters and stuff like that, which I do like, in my opinion. And kind of like for me, and kind of like for me, in my opinion, and stuff like that. In the if like for the Marvel movies, on like Eternals, I hope the next Eternal movies Actually show more action than storytelling. This was better writing and better jokes, I think, in my opinion. But the thing about it, the Eternals is a good is the on the Eternal franchise do got a potential to be good, but I know that they swamp certain stuff. I think in my opinion, they swap certain stuff, everything like that, up in the movie just to make it reach a quota of certain stuff. Sound like certain characters, females is not certain characters is a such is just a certain sexual orientation just to show it, which is a bad thing in my opinion, just to do it. And kind of like for me, right, shoot, in my opinion, there's stuff like that, which I do like. Some people might like it, some people don't. And kind of like for me, right, kind of like for me, which I do want to see next, Devil Mario Universe is like, shoot, I want to see, in my opinion, how will this story movie do? Will people like it the same way they like the most recent madness? And plus, I think, in my opinion, y'all, y'all can say, in my opinion, anything else like that. Y'all can say, in my opinion, anything else like that. Y'all can say, in my, I can say, in my opinion, if all the cameos, if all the cameos wasn't in a Doctor Strange movie, how I do not think, in my opinion, that this movie would have been getting the hype it's getting right now. And that just me. That just me, in my opinion. And that is how I feel like it. And that's kind of like it. And kind of like, in my opinion, if y'all like the new movies, and y'all can try to like it. Y'all can like the movie. Y'all cannot like the choices that the most recent madness made. Because like some of the choices they made, I might not like it, but the movie was good. And plus, like, the most recent madness could have been better, in my opinion. Like, in certain choices they made is like, I think the villain should have been different, in my opinion. Because like the villain being Wanda was a good thing. I think, in my opinion, but they should have had like somebody who was controlling Wanda as the main villain, because like the X-Men villain, because that's what they already show Mr. Fantastic already. They already show Professor Xavier. They should have It should have been shown, like, in my opinion, Mr. Sinister, that was controlling everything. In my opinion, they was controlling Wanda the whole time, and that would have been better. I think, in my opinion, if they would have showed, like, in my opinion, Mr. Sinister, that is an X-Men villain that had crossed over after No Way Home, and he could have been, like, in my opinion, controlling Wanda the whole time. Like, when Wanda think it was her that was doing all that, it was actually Mr. Sinister that was showing her everything, in my opinion. And in my opinion, shoot, I think that would have been a good thing in my opinion. Let me show you a picture of Mr. Sinister, just in case y'all know who that is. Let me show y'all. Mr. Sinister right here. Right. Let me show y'all right now. That's what I'm talking about. Mr. Sinister right here. Right here. This character right here. Because it should show this character right here. Right here. It should have had this character right here. Controlling Wanda. Or just having whispers inside her ear, telling her to do certain stuff, everything like that. That would have been that. That would have been a good thing, which I think, in my opinion, that would have been good. But if y'all agree or disagree, y'all can put it in the chat. And that just me, in my opinion, and stuff like that. That's how I feel about it. Because this character right here, Mr. Sinister, would have been like a good introduction, I think, in my opinion, inside this movie. And and for they kind of feel like I wasted opportunity just from the MCU not to put him inside this movie. Because think about it, be, because think about it, we already got a big Professor Xavier already. They already showed that X-Men is inside the universe. And starting to do X-Men movie, we need a Cyclops as she good, a better Cyclops that can fight, just have leadership and confidence. And plus, we had an Iceman that was good. Cause we need Iceman, we need a Beast, we need a Jubilee that is actually using her powers and not just used as a prop in a movie and stuff like that. That's just me, in my opinion. And that's kind of how I feel like she was used as a prop in some of the movies. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong or not down below. Like if y'all seen the X Men movies, everything like X Men, I think X Men X2 or X Men First Class, one of them went back. I think it X2 or X3 or something like that. They were showing Jubilee everything like that as a teaser in the movie. Which for me at the time I was hyped until I figured out they wasn't using her. Which kind of feel like it to me, in my opinion, in this movie is like if you look at this movie, if they would have shown like a Dark Presence and Mr. Sinister in this movie, and Doctor Strange trying to find, but the X Men found them in the next movie or something, like the next movie or two. And they need to bring back Dormammu, I think, in my opinion. They need to bring back Dormammu. They need to bring back, and plus, I think, in my opinion, that they might bring back a variant version of Thanos. I think, in my opinion, in the future, they might bring him back, and so they might be that the Black Order is staying dead, and that's what I predicted that in my opinion that they're gonna stay dead, and Thanos is coming back in some way to help us fight a bigger villain, which I think, in my opinion, is actually a good thing. And this character right here, Mister Sinister, he's a good character, I think, in my opinion, to use up in this phase or next phase, I think, in Marvel. And that's just my opinion on it. and and they kind of feel like, in my opinion, that people is biased towards MCU just doing everything right, which we all know is not true. Right here, they got the 616 Morbius, and that's their world. They say up in the movie, Christine, a very rare Christine, saying that this could have been everything. In my opinion, could have been a good thing, and they could have cast a Sinister in this movie too, and that was a missed opportunity, I think, in my opinion too, because a Mr. Sinister super villain appeared in American comic books created by Chris Claremont. The character was first mentioned as an employer behind the team or something. Born human, later given powers, hmm, clone body, mutant. Okay, he's a born human with powers. He's one of the most powerful mutants with powers, but still human. Because they got characters created by Chris Clement, origin by Peter Bilka. Notable alias Nathan Milberg. Oh yeah, I heard of that one. Robin Wednesday, Mike Milbury, Noah's Furgatu, and Sinister. Sinister, the one I know. He's not a short human. Sure, he's 6 something. God, no. Any place need a tall person to play him. You need a tall person to play him because you can't be short playing this character. It would have seemed like in this one. You can't be short playing this character. This is the 616 Sinister that like when the Earth that the MCU is working on right now. It's not 818, not Earth One. It's 616. It's the one that the MCU is doing. He was a brilliant Victorian era scientist obsessed with deterministic interpretation of natural evolution. Yep. Predicted the emergence of mutants in the near future. He actually predicted it? But shut it, bro. He showed you what he's doing it. The powerful is embodiment of Estes predictions. Voice bringer Apocalypse and whom he believed to be a bringer of Apocalypse and Mr. Sinister actions directly cross the lives of the X-Men after his orders Marauders to massacre the Morlocks. Okay, that's okay. Evil. The president established the mutant island nations like Chloroca. Mr. Sinister was granted not only citizenship, but also seat and consequence. The Chronicle Supreme Government Sinister Life works a catalog genealogy of all the mutants proved to be crucial resources for the Chronicle Resurrection Program as an important member of the Chronicle Society. Mr. Sinister assembled his own group of mutants to act for his own interests. The Helions. Yep. I pretty much figured. He was trying to betray somebody. Yep. Let's go for powers and abilities he got. His intelligence is 5, strength 4, speed and durability 7. God, dog. It was a 3, but went up to a 7. God, dog. He continued pro on his vision over the years, incorporating genetic material of certain mutants into his own DNA to gain their abilities, or to perform other self-experiments to alter his unique. Dang, God. So he seemed like a mutant, bro. That can okay. He can shapeshift, sell your shapeshifting. Part of his body is living armor. Wait a minute. He sound like hey, die. He's a whole lot of characters. He got superhero strength. Hmm. Press the list to 2 to 10 tons. Okay. Leader classifications. Identify him upper limits to 25 tons. God, dog. Okay. He got superior reflexes, stamina, speed, and durability. And telepath. He one of the most talent. Okay. Okay. They could have used this character in Multiverse of Madness. They could have used him, but they didn't use him. I don't know why they didn't use him. They could have used him. Oh, what's up, Philip? Okay. Okay, Philip. And plus on Saturday, I'll be streaming on Saturday too, talking about what's the future of the DC movies. I'm gonna talk about that on Saturday. The DC movies and the characters after Flashpoint. I will talk about that. But for this stream, I would talk about um half of these abilities right here. They could have used this character in WandaVision. No, not in WandaVision. Yeah, they could have teased him in WandaVision and and also use them in the Multiverse of Madness. That just me. That just one of my stuff. That's just I want to talk about. But the thing about for me, it seemed like Marvel always like miss on opportunities to use the mutant society movies because you look at WandaVision, they could have had Professor Xavier inside it. They could have had Magneto. They could have had different mutants inside WandaVision. That's what in the Multiverse of Madness movie they missed some opportunities for this everything like that. In my opinion, to have it, I think in my opinion. And kind of like the next thing, shoot, that's just I want to talk about, in my opinion. That people might not like me saying that that's just time for me, in my opinion, which I do want to see, in my opinion, in the next movies, and stuff like that. They kind of like the next thing. Shoot, I want to see time for the Thor movies. Is like the Thor movie as it actually be serious because the Thor movies, which I want to see, in my opinion, cannot be joking. Be because like people always think every time I say that I'll be hating on the movie, but the thing about it, I'll be hating on it. I'll just be like, feel like in my opinion, it'd be good. And this right here, the toys spoil everything in the movie. I hate this. But kind of like in my thing, I kind of saw some of these in the trailer. And kind of like in my opinion, the Gore the God Butcher is not just don't look bad. Groot should be grown, but they make him a teenager just for sell toys. What's that in my opinion? Valkyrie, I like her. She look good as a toy. Korag, I think the Rock Monster, he's cool. Jane, that kind of look like that important, but not at the same time. in my opinion. Thor, I like that Thor right there with the shirt. It looks good, and plus you, it kind of look close to Chris Hemsworth in my opinion. It do, and put the Chris Hemsworth with the helmet. I want to know how he changed his suit in my opinion because think about it. Star Lord sword suit didn't change. Valkyrie Groot. Then I know Groot wasn't changing, but then my opinion is like how did Jane Foster got her suit though, and she that I don't get it in my opinion. How she got the suit, I don't get it. But if anybody probably can tell me throughout the teaser trailer we saw, how in the world did she earn that hammer? And that's just my opinion because nobody, I don't know, I don't see it. I don't see how she earned that hammer because the last time I saw it's like she was gone from the MCU. She come back from one movie, she got the hammer. They got to show, in my opinion, how she got the hammer. It got to show me that because you cannot be telling me that she got a hammer and she ain't did nothing to earn that job. Come on now, because somebody up there just got to tell me how she got that hammer. And kind of like the MCU fans were trying to get excuses for him and stuff like that, but that's just me. I don't like it, in my opinion, of her having a hammer, and that's kind of thing that I don't like. That I don't like half of the time. Most time for me, I don't like it, but that Jane having the hammer, it is that that some of her storylines wasn't good. Be, be, because the time for me, in my opinion, it kind of feel like, in my opinion, good. Oh, YouTube. Oh, YouTube. I'll be right back in a bit. And kind of like for me, right time for movies, shows, and everything else like that, y'all. That the story character, that on the story character is good, in my opinion. Oh, that's oh, the baby look good though. Mm-hmm. And kind of like for me, y'all. My sister had a baby and stuff like that. My sister just had a baby and stuff like that, y'all. And kind of like for me, right? Sure, in my opinion, it was actually good, in my opinion, and stuff like that. Um, in my opinion, in my opinion, stuff like that. For me, right? In my opinion, um, shoot, now, I do think that some of the stuff be good. Some of the movies be good, in my opinion, to the MCU. But the thing about I don't like most of the time is like it can mess up a good movie, in my opinion. It can mess up a movie. And kind of like the last Ragnarok movie was not good. The the last Ragnarok movie was not good in my opinion. Wasn't good. People could hate me on them for saying it, but the movies was not good in my opinion. The movies wasn't bad, but the movies wasn't the best in my opinion. Up in my opinion, it wasn't bad. And and kind of like for me, in my opinion, on stuff like that is like I feel like in my opinion, um, kind of like just for me in my opinion, stuff like that. Time for movies, shows, everything like that. I be seeing is is like for me, right? So in my opinion, kind of like just for me in my opinion, stuff like that, which I like, don't like everything else like that. Is like for me is like I do like in my opinion. I do like in my opinion different stuff, and everybody different. Um, because like this Storm movie, I think in my opinion might be just an average good comedy movie, a good comedy Storm movie, which I hate which I hate saying, but it seems like it's gonna be like that. A comedy Storm movie, and that's kind of like what I'm seeing from it. And it's kind of like the thing that should I want to see next throughout the next topic I want to talk about the next I want to talk about it is Halo show. This Halo show right here actually surprised me in my opinion because that's what this was the movie right here is that for me is that just is that for me is that I didn't expect nothing from it. I didn't expect that from this MCU stuff. No, not MCU. This Halo show. I did not expect nothing special for the Halo show, but should have seen sense for me. This Halo show was actually good. But that does me. The Halo show for me was actually good. It's actually like in my opinion, actually good. It's actually good in my opinion. It's actually good in my opinion. It's actually good. It's actually good to have more stuff in it, everything else like that. It's actually good. It had more, like in my opinion, they had more stuff to it, which I think in my opinion it did. And that's kind of like for me that shoot they had more action than I was expecting for the Halo show, and it put the story world building was good, and and plus like the story and stuff around it was actually good in my opinion. The stories about the Doctor, the Halo people, the aliens, the first season to be the first season is actually good. But the thing about the second season, I hope I am hoping I'm hoping in my opinion, I hope I'm hoping like in my opinion that for the second season is actually good. And plus like for me, shoot, sure, I hope the second season of this show is actually good. That the second season of this show need to be good, I think in my opinion. It need to be better than the first season. It need to have more action because because just in my opinion, so they need to have more action to it, more action, more action to the story and stuff like that. In my opinion, it need to add more action, more story, everything else like that. Need to be cool. I'm good with that. In my opinion, it'd be good and cool with it. For me, in my opinion, it'd be good with it. But the other stuff, shoot. But the other stuff, shoot. I need to see. Get, oh, thank you, man. Um, because like for me, right, if it if they make another video franchise, I think either show or movie is like that um on the next one. Sure, I need to see. I think, in my opinion, to become a video game franchise, I think it could be a movie. Is um in my opinion, Mass Effect, Gears of War. They could use dang, ah, they can use Titans. That no, not yeah, Titans 1 and 2. They can use they could bring back Starship Troopers as a reboot or something like that. Starship Troopers on Netflix, I think, in my opinion. They can use dang, what was another video franchise that they can use? They can use they probably do a Mafia one, a Mafia game series, I think, as a series or a show, or Grand Theft Auto GTA. That'd be like a real good video game series that shoot they probably can use as a show or a movie. That'd be a good thing. I think, in my opinion, up in my opinion, that shoot I probably do that. But everybody different on that. If y'all think that'd be a good video game franchise, GTA, to have as a movie or a show, or both, y'all can put that down below. Or they can use Call of Duty. That'd be a good one. Call of Duty Modern Warfare would be a good one. Um, shoot, they can use Borderlands. That could be like a crazy one, or because there's they already did Sonic, and that's what they already do. Transformers, they already doing that. They already doing a GI Joe franchise already, which they need to come out with another movie already for the GI Joe franchise. They need to do one on Duke, I think, in my opinion. Do one on Duke or somebody else, I think, or something like that on the series. That'd be a good thing. Or they can do like on God of War. God of War is like a good one that they can use. But this Halo series, I think, do got a potential of being real good. I think, in my opinion, that one do. They do got potential of being real good, which I think, in my opinion, it do. And this character right here, I hate her character on the show, but she also acting right good. But but she doing something right. That's also good. Everything like that. I like her. I like her in the show because she acting this character I hate, but she also doing it good, in my opinion. And these two characters right here, the major and daughter, I think, in my opinion, is actually good on the show. So I like these two. All the show's actually good. I like them too. On the show, in my opinion. And kind of like in my opinion, that for them doing like the Lord of the Rings right here, the series, everything like that, and for them to be doing the Lord of the Rings series, it's actually good. It's actually good in my opinion of them doing the Lord of the Rings series. I think in my opinion, but the thing about for me, if I were doing the Lord of the Rings series in the movies, I will put the Villians of the Lord of the Rings, I think, as a movie, and just as a series, just put them as a separate timeline, in my opinion. Because the thing about it, if y'all played the Lord of the Rings video games and stuff like that, then y'all would know what I'm talking about and stuff like that. The Shadow of Mordor and stuff like that. I will put those as movies and put the ones as series as different, which I think, in my opinion, would be a good thing. Would be a good thing, in my opinion. For for me, in my opinion, that'd be a good thing. But for other people, it might not be a good thing for them. Because like for some people, just might want it some things forever. For me, in my opinion, some people don't. Some people do. That's just me. And kind of like for me, the title of Lord of the Rings look good. I like the way the title look. The Ring of Power. This is like the beginning and stuff like that. Is also a good thing. But the things for me is like they can put the other stuff separate. That be me. That be me in my opinion. And stuff like that. And kind of like for me, right, the Lord of the Rings is actually like one of the best franchises withstanding, I think, in my opinion. Because then if you look at it, John Wick is a good franchise. John Wick, Lord of the Rings, the Monster Verse is actually good. The Captain America series on the MCU is good. I can't say the Black Panther yet because that's why I didn't see the second and third movie of theirs. Um, Terminator is good in certain movies, but their franchise is not the best. Transformers is good in certain movies, but their whole franchise not the best. But you talk about animated, that's good. You talk about animated Transformers, that's good. That's on point. You talk about that. But things in my opinion, if you talk about that live action one, I like the first one. The second one was cool. The third one was cool as well. But it got to the fourth and fifth one. It kind of seemed like it seemed like the second or third movie is that they forget about the storyline and plots and stuff like that. Because like for me, right, the first movie I was cool with that. It was good. It was an origin movie. But the second movie, they should have made the second movie two parts. That just trying to tell the story of the matriarch of him just how proving he worthy and stuff like that. They should have put that in two movies. And plus for the third movie. The third movie just should to continue him being the leader and stuff like that. And this should show, like for the fourth movie, sound like Optimus Prime proving like he's still either trying to get the new armor and stuff like that. They should have made that two parts. Or just make that one movie or two parts, I think, in my opinion. That would have been a good thing. And plus in the second two-part movie, they could show the fallen, I think, planet in the first part and up in the second part, they show him actually going down, tearing up stuff, destroying stuff, everything like that. And they could show Optimus Prime fighting them and beating them in the second part of the movie. But thing about some other fights, it would have been hard to beat him in the first two fights. But the third fight, Optimus Prime come back, he beat him. That's cool. I would go with that. But the thing about for Transformers, it seemed like the directors just don't try to take their time with them with their movies. Sometimes is what I feel like to me. They don't do it, and kind of like for me, right? And that kind of like disappointing to me, in my opinion, because if you look at it, Transformers is a really good series waiting to be brought up to the main stage, I think, and stuff like that for me, in my opinion. And kind of like for me, if uh if y'all got favorite Transformers, y'all can put it down in the chat. Because my favorite Transformers I like is Ironhide. I like Ironhide, Bumblebee, and Optimus. But shoot, I like some other ones too. And Ratchet, that is the medic. But it's then Optimus Prime brother, I like him as well too now, Optimus Prime brother. But Megatron is a good bad guy robot. Which he don't get is that which that he don't get is like he tried to destroy humans. Humans will always find a way to try to kill him back. It'd be like a cycle of violence, I think, all over again, which Optimus Prime don't want, and the Primes didn't want because the Primes wanted peace. Uh, Megatron wanted Megatron want to be free or something like that, want to be a little lower class or something. I'm not sure about that. And that just me, in my opinion, what I see like. It seemed like the animated series tell a more fleshed out story on it, but then he still was evil. He still turned evil at the end, which I did, which is him. It, which is he tried to find an excuse to turn evil and stuff like that. In my opinion, everything for like for me, I think I think the next Transformers movies is gonna be better than the last one. Better than the last two, I think, in my opinion. But that's just me. That just me, in my opinion. What I feel like it could be. If y'all got any questions to ask me, what I think about the video game series or just any other series you got in mind, what I think could be changed into a movie or a series, y'all can put it down in the chat if y'all think any more. And kind of like for me, right? So in my opinion, um, I think it could be a good or a bad thing. It could be a good bad guy or a bad one. It's up to y'all. Or it don't got to be a Transformers. It could be any other series that y'all can put in the chat if y'all think of what could be a live action movie or series. And kind of like for me, right? Sure, in my opinion, is like I do think that the Lord of the Rings. I think, in my opinion, do do got a couple of $1 billion movies up in their franchise thinking, which I think, in my opinion, it could be, but um could it could be like a $1 billion franchise waiting, but that's just me, in my opinion. Because for everybody, I just want to thank everybody for coming. I will see y'all later. I will see y'all later and see y'all next time.